Podding. Pre-pod is up. And I'm going to go to my Twitter site. Let's see. Festival of Friendship. Ooh.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, it says Iranian Mermaid?
Yeah.
That's easier for me to say.
Okay. But that's not my name.
Oh. It's in your Twitter handle, though. I have 5 notifications. You are listening to a pre-pod right now. Erin Darling is here.
Hello.
We are pre-podding. And Ariel. Hold on, go to my notes. I know you. Ariel Kushanchi.
Yes.
That's probably why I can't host, because I have enunciation issues.
I mean, most people don't get my name right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like my first, whenever I get brought up on stage,
Oh.
I always start
Save it
off
for the
with,
podcast.
Okay.
That's going to be a good.
That
And
is
here's the
good.
deal. I'm not mean. Don't think I'm trying to make fun of you. Just understand that I am from the San Fernando Valley. I come from. I'm just a typical
You grew up in
Jewish
the
kid.
Valley?
I'm a Jewish kid who wasn't bar mitzvahed, played sports, and gangly extremities, that sort of thing. That's what you're getting. You're not getting. Maybe I'm misunderstood, but I think my track record is okay at this point.
Where did you grow up in the Valley?
Tarzana.
I grew up in Woodland Hills.
Okay, yeah, you look familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to Coffee Bean?
Probably.
Yeah. See, I'm just being silly. But you really have been to Coffee Bean.
I mean, I've been to. Which one are you talking about?
Because I go to the one in Woodland Hills
Where's the one?
on Ventura. You know where Ventura Boulevard is?
Yeah. Ventura and what? Like DeSoto? No. Canoga.
No, near Corbin. We are pre-podding right now with Stephen Brody Stevens. We have Ariel Kashanji. Am I saying it right?
At one point you were.
Ariel.
Ariel.
Got that.
You got
Ariel.
that. Kashanchi.
Kashanchi.
Yeah.
Got it. I have a nasal drip.
Are you
forgive
sick?
you.
No. No, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not sick. I take apple cider vinegar. That's Erin Darling right there.
Hi. Should I put these on? I probably should.
You can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I've been sharing this link. I'm trying to get people to join us.
They may or may not. I don't know. I don't promote myself like I should.
Yes, you do.
No,
You're
I don't.
so good at promoting yourself.
No, I don't.
Yes, you're really good at it.
No, I don't.
Let's fight.
Really?
Yeah, let's fight about it.
I would. I need to mix it
I'll
up.
be the mediator.
Okay.
I'll be
All right, so this is why I think he's really good
Why is this
at
thing
promoting
not
himself.
charging?
Brody is always on the internet. You're always doing stuff. You're always connecting with your fan base. Like, you constantly have ways for people to access you. So that's why I think you're really good.
I'm always on because I don't log off. Who logs off Twitter? Who does their tweet and go, sent, let me log off? Do you stay on? I'm always logged on.
Okay, do you have an argument in defense?
I think
No,
I think you guys are in agreement.
Okay, we're in agreement.
There's no argument to
there's
be
no
had.
fight here.
That's good. That's you know what I already like where this is going.
It's imaginary. It's an imaginary fight.
I'm just trying to charge this iPhone here because it has. Oh, this one has my apps too, but this is not charging properly. I have the new iPhone. Okay, we're gonna start this thing because I feel good. I just want to get that one sound effect thing.
Sweet.
Stay with me. I'm not a bad guy.
I just put this on Facebook.
Oh wow, you logged on to Facebook like it's
I know.
2015.
I'm never on Facebook, but I felt that I wanted to share this moment, right?
Really?
I'll
Yeah.
share it too. Did you tag me in it?
I tagged you, and I
right.
tagged Brody.
You
I
know
tagged
what?
all
Here's
of
the
us.
deal. You know what's funny? I have the new iPhone, and it won't plug. This particular plug doesn't plug in.
I have something.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Hey.
And my old iPhone is not charging properly.
I have to make sure to get it back.
For whatever reason. We are pre-podding right now. You're listening to Stephen Brody Stevens here in Burbank, California.
Yes.
We have 2 guests. We have a sinus blaster in case my nasal drip acts up in the middle of the show. And
A sinus blaster.
okay, let's see.
Is that what that is?
Come with that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying.
Okay, so this plugs into so. Thank you. And then this plugs into so. Thank you. And now let me just, and I may not even go to these. But sometimes I'll play a little stand up just for my friends on here. This is pre-pod. This is not. No one will hear this again. This will not be.
Wow, this is like once in a lifetime, super special.
Right. This is actually more like an Instagram story. It disappears.
Oh wow.
This will disappear. I'm just looking for this sounds. Okay, stay with me. And so far, you're doing great on this pre-pod because it's mostly me just. Okay, let me go to the favorites on it. Oops, that's not cool.
We still can't add a link.
Can you hear those on your headphones?
Yes. I can hear that.
I can hear it.
I'm out of here. Wow, that car went fast. Hey, slow down. I hear you. You have the Sunday paper, okay. The Monday paper, the weekly.
That's giving me a headache.
Oh, it is? All right.
Maybe my headphones are just like really. Here, I'll turn the level down. I can fix that. There we go. There we go.
Oh, see that now? Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah.
That's.
Is that better?
It's aggressive.
Well, of course. That's the idea. It's
all right. Well, then yes.
That
then
particular.
You got
one.
your desired effect.
Oh, I like what you are bringing. And let's tune in to a little bit of. See how this sounds. Some of my stand-up comedy. I always like to let the audience in on a snippet of my weekend stand-up comedy. Stephen Brody Stevens in Phoenix, Arizona.
Took that acting class at Arizona State University.
Listen to that crowd.
ASU.
Arizona on Mill Avenue, not downtown on a light rail. I parked in lot 59, and that's uncovered, no covering. I had a 1981 Volvo, and that thing melted like a cassette tape.
They're having a good time.
They are.
They're just having a good time.
They're killing. They're
And
killing.
you think so?
Yeah. It's extended laughter. See? I mean, well, that's applause, but it was extended laughter.
I don't think the audio is XM satellite worthy.
No, but you get the gist. You had a good time.
Seems like I'm yelling a lot. I don't know. My voice is raw. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. I think some of these gadgets I do, I think having guests is you don't need to do all this stuff. I'm just glad we have guests today. Thank you. All right, so let me see how this lighting is.
Wow, this is like a kerosene old school lamp. Like,
Well-
I feel like we're going camping.
I've been having lighting issues here.
Should I
with
turn
no
my
light.
phone on?
I don't think it makes much difference. See, it needs to be like that.
I think it makes no difference whatsoever.
Except that you're holding the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can see
It's like a little lamp.
when I put it right. But I also have this light. Lighting matters, doesn't light?
Lighting matters.
Light makes a difference. And
Lighting does matter.
I mean, I always talk about the lighting in here, and who is it up to see? Like here's me lit.
But lit from
Oh,
beneath.
look.
That makes you spooky. There we go.
Yeah,
Little
but I'm
higher.
lit. I'm lit.
A little higher. Wait, let's do the
But
beauty
that's
light.
Oh yeah, that's the great light.
Oh my God, you look so good.
I don't think it makes that much of a difference.
You don't think so? I think it does.
Okay, now it does. You have to
Look
get
at
it close. You got to get it real
Yeah,
close.
this is like you're like a supermodel.
But-
All you need is somebody to hold a phone to your face.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Could you
some
do
good
that,
lighting.
Eric, by chance, for coming episodes? It's almost too close, I see.
I like it. I love it.
All right. That's good. Good. We'll just talk. Thank you. 2. Check. Let me go in on Twitter. We're all locked in. And we'll have fun and I'll be silly. Or I'll just be myself. And you guys are helping me be myself right now.
Yes.
Okay, Erin?
Uh-huh.
Erin's our sound.
Oh my God.
Do you know Erin?
We need to establish.
Oh, wow.
Erin,
Because we have 2 Erins.
Erin D.
Or you can just call me darling.
Or you call him Aaron, because he's Aaron.
He has 2 A's.
Erin boy and Erin girl.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out. That could be a problem. You know what? That's a
Or
first.
you call me Erin,
Lady Erin.
Erin Ashley. It's my middle name.
I like Lady Erin.
I don't
Lady
like
Erin.
That sounds matronly.
Yeah, I
That
wouldn't
sounds
say that.
old.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I
Does
don't like it. You might as well call me like governess.
Okay, fine.
That's awful.
What about Countess?
God, that's disgusting.
Duchess?
Ew. Why are you thinking of the worst nicknames ever?
Those
Why
are
don't you
the
just call me
best.
Erin?
I would love to be called Duchess or
Duchess?
Countess.
What kind of person
Yeah.
do you think I am?
It's a European.
But Ariel is a nice name.
Ariel's a nice name.
I like it.
I named myself.
You did?
Yeah, it's not my real name.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's not like my birth name. It's
is it
legally
birth name?
my name.
Birth name more.
It's
difficult?
very Persian. I'm Persian, and
I see that on the
I
Twitter.
mean, yeah, the name.
Persian-
yeah.
what is it?
Iranian mermaid. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that a movie?
Iranian mermaid. It
Yeah.
should be.
The Littlest.
Like Burqa
Her voice
under the
gets
sea.
stuck in a shell. She,
Okay, we're gonna start
she
this
needs to
thing.
escape her possessive father.
And then she gets stoned once she makes it out.
Ladies,
of the
I need to do a
sea.
podcast.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm playing.
sorry.
I'm kidding, but it was funny. All right, good. You get it.
Yeah.
Let me do a minute or two, and then I'll bring you guys out.
Okay.
I mean, you're fine, but I want to make sure I get the name right. I'm gonna really put because I don't have notes other than I did write it down. Okay, here we go. All right, Erin in the booth. Are you ready? Here we go. This was a pre-pod. It was nice. I think the pre-pod was pretty good. Did a little sound effect, a little comedy. We're relaxed, and I let Twitter in on that. I let Periscope in on what's happening before the gates are open.
You
kind
opened
of
your
thing.
heart to that.
They're lucky.
Yeah, it's like batting practice. It's like stretching. Not everyone sees that.
Yeah.
A lot of people just get there when the game starts. Some people even run late and get there in the third inning.
They have to know what's going on. All the work that goes into
Yeah.
this.
I just
All
don't
the
want it to be
lighting.
wasted necessarily.
Yeah, no.
But we gave them a gist of what it is. And, it's always evolving. This could be the last pre-pod. I don't know. We have Eric over there laughing, which is fine, which is good. Thank you for being here today. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start. We are going to start this thing. When I hit 3, we'll do the count in, and then Aaron, the sound guy, will press record. Here we go.
All right.
So I'll start with 6, then I'll go to 5. When I say the third, then Aaron will press record. Right now he's not recording. This is only going out over Twitter and Periscope.
Okay.
Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, you got it. Hello, everybody. It's me, Stephen Brody Stevens, back here again on a podcast. It's called Festival of Friendship, and it's here in Burbank today at the studios of All Things Comedy. This is episode, I'm going to say, 60, maybe. I should be keeping track. I don't. I should keep promoting. I haven't. However, if you listen, we now incorporate guests. We've been doing that for close to a month now of guests, and my friend Eric has been contributing in that respect. I'm Brody. I'm a comedian. I am an actor. I am a entertainer, an MC, all that sort of stuff. And I'm doing the podcast because people like to hear it. I have fans. I am constantly evolving as a person, and it's about meeting people. It's about meeting people. I've done so many Periscopes, so many live streamings when people go, that's great how you talk to that person. And you know what? It would make for a great show. So now I'm trying to actually set it up. Instead of like walking down the street and bumping in to people and having no setup at all. This takes setup. This takes social skills. This takes reaching out. This takes confirming. This takes getting the spelling. This takes work is what I'm getting at. Life takes work. This show, I think a lot of things take work. You can skate through, and I've been skating pretty good, but you need help. It's good to be independent, but I think intra-dependent is good. 2 independent people working together. and it's only going to help you. Booking guests. Now they book. They have Twitter. They have fans. If you want to look at it that way. But I'm looking at not necessarily that way. I'm looking at it me just meeting different people. I need to socialize. I need to, show my face at the Comedy Store. And it's just healthy. I am a 48-year-old single man, and I think this is a growing portion of our society that needs to be represented. And I feel I am that voice of the 48-year-old man living alone in an apartment in the San Fernando Valley. And I'm sharing with you the struggles, the ups, the downs, and I think this podcast is a good thing. And you're here for that. And I'm getting serious. And we're not about being serious, not today, not with these two great guests. I've had a non-male guest before. I've done like overall 200 episodes at least, and then I had a podcast with little Esther. So this is not something, but I do say I need female energy in my life. I've worked on a lot of TV shows, worked on a handful that went for a number of years. So I would always be around girls, writers on the show, producers, segment people, and talk to them. And I kind of miss that. I miss the relationships of being at a show. So lately I've been making the effort to be more social, but also I kind of feel like my old self. And my old self back in high school, I had friends who were girls. I wasn't the guy who had I wasn't that guy who had a lot of girlfriends. Let's not go into that thing, lady friends. But I was friendly with a lot of people. And I'm saying I miss that. And I think this podcast for me, and I'll tell you what, I've done booking the guests, having Eric help book the guests the last few weeks. It's added something. It's been good for me. So we're going to continue that today. My name is Brody. I was born Jewish, raised Gemini in the San Fernando Valley. And we have two guests today. I don't know them very well. I know their names. I know of them. I've seen them on Twitter. I have been in different, I've been in different worlds of my life, and the way it is today, they're here. It's good. It happens, and that's what we're doing today. They're funny girls. Funny ladies, funny people. If you were listening on the pre-pod, you saw a taste of it. And now they're here, and I'm a little nervous. I was nervous. I'm really not nervous. I was nervous initially. I think I've gotten over that. Now I'm feeling it again because the pressure is on. The record button was touched. So I am nervous about the intros. I can get this one good, and I can get that one too.
I'll coach you through it.
These two performers, personalities, have a podcast, correct?
We do.
We do.
And that's not what they only do. They do other, and we're going to find out today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could tell they're already funny. They have good energy. Everybody's always looking for, they're always looking for, why can't people just be funny and go, you know what? Yeah, they're funny. They're happy. They're living a good life. It does happen. So she is here right now. And this first person that I'm going to, on the show, we grew up, I think, in the same neighborhood. I think we have a lot of similarities based on where we grew up, if that makes sense.
And we're both Jewish.
You're Jewish?
I'm Jewish.
But that's not what your Twitter handle says.
Well, I mean, I can be Iranian and Jewish.
That does happen?
Yes.
Okay.
Haven't you been to Beverly Hills?
Yeah, I've been. There's Iranians there.
Iranian Jews.
So they are there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They haven't been in the news lately.
Well.
The
Iranian Jews haven't, or Persian people?
So Iranian Jews are different than Persians?
No. We typically call ourselves Persian because just to disassociate from the Islamic regime.
Oh, wow. We're getting into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you're asking, that's why. And it kind of rolls off the tongue better.
What? Persian?
Persian.
Iranian.
Iranian.
As opposed to Islamic.
Well, Iranian also, it's just like, it doesn't sound like, Persian sounds nice. Like it sounds like Parisian.
Yeah, I've been to Paris.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I'm going to say your name.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Ariel Kushanchi.
Kashanchi.
Kashanchi.
Yes.
Kashanchi.
Yes.
Ariel Kashanchi. I would just have to say it a bunch.
Victorious.
That's what's holding me back from hosting, not be able to say names like a Jimmy Kimmel or a Seth Meyers or whoever those guys, those late night.
You nailed it.
Yeah, you got it.
Kashanchi.
Good job.
Kashanchi.
Well, you had it, and then you turned it into Kashanchi.
Kushanchi.
Kashanchi.
So, Ariel Kushanchi. I'll say Ariel.
Let's just say Ariel.
Thank you. Ariel is here. She's cool. And her friend, who I know, I see on Twitter. I don't really, I've seen you around, but we haven't performed enough together, but I do know your name. I do see your stuff. And you are also on a podcast.
I am, yeah.
Do you guys appear as guests together on shows?
Yeah, we do a lot because we promote our podcast a bunch, and so we end up doing stand-up shows together and podcasts and appearances and stuff like that.
Okay, so this is not a first. A lot of times they'll take you. It's like you're a team.
We're a team.
Yeah.
We're a package deal.
But you do individual.
We do. We have our
rarely.
own identities. Yeah.
The occasion here and there.
We're a little codependent. I mean,
So,
fine.
ladies and gentlemen, you've met Ariel. You've met Ariel. Now you're going to meet her friend, and they're partners, but they're also friends and they're individuals. And I don't know a whole lot. A lot of times I know because I'm learning. I've done other podcasts where I know a lot of times I know the guests. I'm friends with them. This is unique in a sense that I don't really. I mean, I'm sure we know a lot of the same people. There's going to be more similarities than not. But in terms of my podcasting career, and I'm going on, well over 200 episodes with my name on it. I don't think I've had many guests where this is new.
I mean,
this is great.
If we all become really good friends, we've documented the beginnings of our friendship.
Oh yeah, it's on tape.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can you pronounce my name correctly?
Yes, I can. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Erin Darling.
Yeah,
yes!
you got it.
That one's easy for me. Erin Darling. Ariel.
It's an easy one.
Ariel.
We'll just stick with
Okay,
Ariel.
Ariel. Okay, so we have
Ariel and Erin.
We have Ariel, we have Erin, and then we have Aaron behind the scenes doing his thing over there. So you have a podcast, Ghost Hunted?
Ghosted Hunters.
Ghosted Hunters.
Does that have anything to do with ghosts, or has to do with what does
yes,
it? Oh, it does.
Well,
I mean, ghost like in the dating sense.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, in the slang, yeah.
Being ghosted.
Yeah, so basically it's a true crime parody where we investigate instances where someone was ghosted.
And that's a real thing. Being ghosted means they don't send you the text back.
They just disappear. Poof.
Gone.
But can't you see them out aren't you going to bump into them at a restaurant or at a bar or a comedy club if you're a performer, which everyone seems to be
I think
these
it
days?
depends on the circumstance and who the person is and how well you know them. I think in our investigation and the people that we've talked to, primarily people that get ghosted seem to be people that are meeting on apps more than people that you meet in your community. But, it can happen anywhere. It could happen to anyone.
So if you're meeting somebody on Bumble,
Okay.
that's an app, right?
That's an app.
A dating app.
That's a dating app.
So there's a chance if I live in the Valley and she lives in Venice. Is she? Yes.
Yeah.
And if she ghosted me and I ghosted her and she wasn't necessarily a stand-up and I'm not a stand-up, probably chances are it's all good.
Yeah. You probably won't cross paths unless you hang out in Venice or she hangs out in the Valley at Coffee Bean.
I've been to Coffee Bean. I've been to Starbucks. I've been to I'll tell you what, I go to Coffee Bean. A lot of people think, oh, Brody, whenever I show a photo that I'm at Starbucks, they go, oh, I thought you were a Coffee Bean guy. And then if I show a photo that I'm at Coffee Bean, oh, I thought you were a Starbucks guy.
Why are people so involved with your coffee preferences? Can't you like both?
Exactly. Why can't I'm sometimes in a Coffee Bean mode.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
Bloods and Crips. It's
Yeah, they can coexist. See,
Yeah.
I like Coffee Bean when I want a blended drink. They have some really good blended drinks and some really good seasonal drinks. They have like an amazing red velvet latte.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Coffee Bean is almost like a treat. When I
Oh,
go to-
yeah.
it's not known
it's
for
an
drip.
You're going to do
indulgence.
something bad there. When you
Yeah.
go to Coffee Bean, you're like, all right, like, what am I going to get here? When I go into Starbucks, I'm like, I just need caffeine.
Yeah. Starbucks is like you're working.
Yeah,
it's like
you're
your
working.
day to day.
Coffee Bean is
A celebration.
celebration. I get more of you're into it. I get more of a Coffee Bean is more of a warmth. There's wood paneling. There's families. I mean, because it was Coffee Bean was from Los Angeles.
Well, also it's kosher. So
That's what I'm getting at.
You meet a lot of fellow
Jews.
tribe members. Yes.
Also, they got the NSA, the no sugar added powder, which is great.
They do?
Yeah. So if you're, sugar conscious or on a diet or diabetic, it's a good choice.
Or if you like having gas.
Yeah, exactly.
you know what? I've never had diarrhea or gas from that powder, but I have had it from like the sugar-free Twizzlers and sugar-free gummy bears.
Really?
Have you guys ever had that before? And just
I
been
didn't even
like,
know that
why did I make
existed.
this choice?
If I have too much ice cream or I limit my dairy. Like I could have a chocolate shake and I'm good. I can do a Dairy Queen Blizzard and I'm good. I can do Baskin Robbins and I'm good. I can do a Lenny and Larry cookie. I may have to watch myself. But I will say this. I allow for like one treat a day. It's like when I'm drinking soda, I know I'm drinking soda. I'm conscious of it. Just like when I go to Coffee Bean, I've been getting the vanilla latte, iced vanilla latte. I know I'm getting that. I wouldn't get an iced vanilla latte at Starbucks.
What would you get at Starbucks?
Trenta cold brew, sugar-free vanilla, half and half, extra ice.
Okay.
And then sugar-free vanilla is
I like the
SV,
Trenta.
SFV, San Fernando Valley.
You keep it consistent.
Can I get some San Fernando Valley?
You're 818 all the way.
Committed.
818's a good, and by the way, 818 is a good number because you could play with it. You can go 8 out of 10 or 8.18 out of 10. That's pretty good. 8.18 out of 10 is how was I? Or you could do a donation, $8.18, and that gets you a shout out. That gets you an email reply. 818, it's enough to get you a meal. And it's not too much. What do you think
Yeah.
about that? Ariel, you really because you
It's
grew
all-
up in the valley.
I grew up in the valley. It's a well balanced number. I kept my 818 phone number.
You did?
Yeah. Did you not?
Yeah, I kept it. I mean, I went away. I see. I'm not Mr. Valley guy. I only became Mr. Valley guy when people started picking on the valley. So when I was doing audience warm up, when I moved back here in 2000. Was I did 3 years in Seattle, 3 years in New York. So I moved back here in 2000. So that's when I started doing comedy here in Los Angeles. And my friend said, because I would do the warm-ups with all the different high schools that come into the shows at Fox Sports. And I'd always say, I'm from Reseda. And they would laugh. And I said, I'm from the Valley. And they would laugh. And then my friend kept saying, you should say you're from the Valley. It's funny. And I would say that only because people would always put the Valley down. Mm-hmm. You were kind of like ashamed to say you're from the Valley.
Yeah.
So then when I started doing the warm-ups and saying I'm from the Valley, then people started, I'm from the Valley too. It was fun to say because it was like different. And so that's kind of where that started from. And this Valley pride, people kind of like associated me with it. Do you not have that same, you're from the Valley? Do you not talk about it? Do you not see that? Did you not feel that growing up?
I mean,
Ariel?
I don't, I mean, like to me, the Valley is kind of, chain restaurants and.
Yes, it is.
And yeah, I mean, it's not as exciting for me. Like I haven't lived in the Valley since I left.
You haven't
you?
lived in the Valley
You
since
live
I
in the
left.
Valley?
Yes, I
Since-
do.
Like since I left my parents' house.
I live in the Valley. I understand when people say that it's not exciting. There are.
I like the Valley. I like parts of it.
I like the vibe of the Valley. I like that you're connected to the West. Like I've always felt a connection to Calabasas, and and which isn't the valley, but that's the outskirts, or that's heading out. It had that old west vibe. Now the East Valley, that's another ball game. That's Burbank, that's Tahunga, that's Sun Valley, Pacoima. That's different. I get that.
Yeah, that's not my region.
But I was just always, when people would put the valley down, and I'm going, I'm from the valley. I go, I'm okay. People seem to like me. And I just remember growing up, the Karate Kid, they made fun of the valley. Beverly Hills 90210, they made fun of the valley. And then when I started performing in 2000 back here, after 6 years, I started looking in. I go, all these studios are in the valley. This is in the valley. That's in the valley. And then when you're performing, because you're channeling energies, you're connected. And then you started seeing stuff. I go, the valley ain't so bad. Why is everyone doing? Oh, it's in the. You start going to auditions. Oh, that's in the valley. That's in the valley. So bad, but it has that. You could breathe, and when you can breathe and relax, you're comfortable and you hit your stride. I don't know. There's just something. There's a reason why the valley is, yes, it's uncool, but why are a number of the studios out here and the TV shows? The valley provides that energy of we'll leave you alone.
Can we talk about the whole breathing and relaxing and hitting your stride?
Yeah, yes, we can.
I like
That's
that.
Erin right there. That's Erin right
me.
there.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what do you mean by that? How do you know when you're hitting your stride on stage? Like, when do you feel it?
When I'm speaking well, getting laughs, connecting, energies. I just done a lot of audience warm-up, so you have to really be present there. And that's where I started doing these, being able to work with groups. I like in a group setting and see how being positive affects a TV show. Affects lighting, affects guys making mistakes, affects laughter. And I'm saying that energy that I brought was from growing up in the valley, playing baseball, being a good teammate, that kind of attitude. So I felt like what I learned growing up and then at Reseda and just having a little bit of a chip on our shoulder, knowing that, because I would go to the beach, Santa Monica Beach. Now, I'm older than you guys, but I would go to the beach there in the 80s, and my friend would say, oh, don't tell anybody you're from the valley. They'll kick your ass. And I was thinking, I'm a nice guy. I got to lie to these guys in Santa Monica and say, I'm from down the street. Don't kick my ass. So with that, and then the movies, and then I know people I played baseball at Arizona State. People would always put down Los Angeles. I get that. Put down Hollywood. But within L.A., and then also with national sense with TV shows, I just felt that people were putting the valley down. I was from the valley, and when I spoke about it, I felt like people reacted. They liked it.
You're like a valley ambassador.
Yeah, you're like a brand ambassador for the valley.
Yeah, but I am.
You don't want to be. You're like...
Right. I don't want to be. I didn't ask for it. I was just doing it, and I sensed it. And that began when I did the warm-up. And then later on, and we don't need to get political or whatever, but it's also I come from I'm going to call myself a blue-collar Jewish guy. So when I started hearing stuff like, these guys are bad, this guy's bad, and I go, I went to church. I can't say thoughts and prayers. I mean, I worked on your show. You seem to get along with me for a guy, so that kind of stuff starting to get to me. So it only reaffirmed my belief in the energies of the valley. I know it sounds kind of weird and creepy, but I just feel there's a lot of that going on. And when you're a performer, especially at the Comedy Store, you're in Hollywood, you can kind of channel it a little bit. The Comedy Store's haunted. That's a fact. I mean, people have said for years it's haunted. Mm-hmm. Then you have Laurel Canyon, some weird stuff going on in Laurel Canyon. I drive through Laurel Canyon all the time. So am I joking? Yes, I'm having fun with it, but there's something there.
Yeah, so you tap back into that valley energy and you bring it with you.
Right, and I lived in Hollywood for a year. I've always wanted to try and say, okay, let me live in Hollywood. So I did live in Hollywood for a year, and you could feel some of the desperation. You could feel people moving to Hollywood just to have fun or just to make it, or mostly just to make it. And you could feel it. And also on top of it, I couldn't breathe. I felt I was living on Hollywood Boulevard, and that's why.
Oh, Hollywood Boulevard.
Well,
that's a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you're right in the center of
You're correct.
Tourists. and derelicts.
Well, I was a little in. I wasn't like right on the Walk of Fame.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I'm just getting word on Periscope from a bunch of the fans. They want to know more about the girls.
I'm gonna get to that.
Oh my gosh.
Enough about the valley.
Hey, wait, here's the deal. You don't think I sense that? I know I'm talking a lot. I'm trying to like establish something. I know. I'm saying to myself, it's not about me. I'm gonna learn more about them. So way to ruin the vibe, Eric. You don't think I knew? I knew that I was talking a lot. I've done enough podcasts. I wanted to shift it out of the valley, and I was going to say, this isn't about the valley. I want to learn where you're from. What do you think? But now I got Eric, who's paying attention to the Periscope comments, and they don't know my thinking. They don't know where I'm coming from. They're not at the table. I'll tell you more about the valley. So you don't think I know that, Eric? So go ahead. So I do want to find out more about these guys. And here's the other thing. You're talking about Ghosted. Mm-hmm. The most haunted house. See, I was going to tie this in, but we'll listen to Periscope comments. They know more about that stuff. They know that the director of the Poltergeist reboot is from Reseda in the Valley. They know that the most haunted house ever on Ghost Hunters is in Reseda. It's called the Reseda House of Evil. So
oh my God,
I was going to tie that in,
Great.
but they said, "Oh no, we want to learn more about them."
They're upset with me now, bro.
They should be,
Oh,
because Eric, I knew I was talking a lot. I'm a great guest. I'm a great listener, but I'm not going to have some guy on Periscope tell me what to do and then or whatever. Now I'm pissed.
I'm stoked about the Reseda haunted house. Oh my God.
So
have
Erin,
you been?
No, I haven't. Now I'm angry.
Okay.
You've witnessed anger.
I've seen it.
That's anger. That's not bad.
No, I'm not. I'm
That's
not
your
angry.
worst. That's a
But I knew I was talking a lot. Erin, where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
I'm from San Jose, California.
San Jose, Hewlett-Packard, HP Arena.
So I'm also from the Valley, but the Silicon Valley.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
different kind of valley.
Different kind of valley.
San Joaquin Valley.
That is also a valley.
You're in a valley within a valley.
Yep.
So you grew up in the Bay Area. Is that considered the Bay Area?
Yes, it is.
And you grew up there, and were you a performer growing up?
Yeah, I was actually. I was a lot of different things. I was a dancer. I was a cheerleader.
Really?
Yeah, I did some acting stuff too. Oh my God, I had a print modeling agent, and the only work that you get is like an underage teen model in the Bay Area is like HP printer, like
You did catalog
desk
ads?
jet.
Yeah.
No, I did like the girl on the cover of like a printer like ad or something like that. Stuff like that. Like that's what we had up there. I almost said down there. Up there. So you did that. You did that, and Yeah.
and how long you been down here in Los Angeles for?
Wow, it's been a while. I think I've been here for over 10 years.
10 years.
Been a
That
decade.
you know what? That's not even that long. See,
It's
and I'm
not?
trying to ask questions now, because now I'm thinking about what the Periscope, and Eric, if you didn't tell me, I wouldn't be thinking about it. So now it's in my head because you stopped down the podcast. In the middle of my thought, I knew where I was going with this. I've interviewed hundreds of guests. Now, so Ariel,
Yes.
you guys met in the comedy scene.
We
You
met
met on
in
Bumble.
comedy.
You met what?
Yeah, we met on Bumble BFF.
Is that a
The
thing?
friend, yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
You can meet potential friends on Bumble.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
an
I've
option.
never done it, but yeah. Like a lot of Raya has it. They all have like little like just friends networking things.
Wow.
Ariel, you grew up here in the Valley.
I grew up here in the Valley.
I don't even know if I'm supposed to mention. Ask Periscope, Eric, if I'm allowed to even mention the Valley again.
No more
Even though I didn't
V-word.
really bring it up. I'm not putting it on you guys.
They're just saying Eric doesn't get it.
Or what? They're saying you don't get it. Whatever. I'm not saying you don't get it. I'm saying that you don't think I knew where I was going with this thing. I mean, some podcasts, not that this one's going to go 3 hours, some go 3 hours. Everything, it's called about being organic. I think that's what some of these comedians or some people, they go, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. How about just be funny, be present, be real, be in the moment, don't hurt anybody, and give us that and see where that goes.
Don't hurt anybody.
When you start doing all this other stuff, it's called paralysis by analysis, and I get frazzled. Ariel, you went to college where?
I went to CSUN.
Well,
I mean, so I got accepted. I started law school and I dropped out and I went back to CSUN.
Cal State University,
yeah.
Northridge. I went to CSUN. I took a driver's class there. I got a speeding ticket.
You got your degree in driving.
I got my.
You actually went to driving school. You didn't do it online.
This is again.
Oh,
I'm
is this
older than you.
before? Oh,
this
okay,
is like
all right.
this is before the internet. This is
Okay.
before Bumble friendship. I had a speeding ticket. I don't know if it was here or like out in Riverside County, driving to school in Arizona State. Anyway, so I took it. I remember I took the class. The one class at Cal State Northridge, and they showed it was like an all afternoon thing, and they showed DUI stuff, and that I passed, of course. But
I mean, I would hope so.
CSUN, that's where they filmed Karate Kid.
Oh, is it? I didn't. Well, so I'm foreign, so I didn't see a lot of these movies.
Karate
growing
Kid is
up.
a global
I know,
sensation. How
I know, but-
dare you?
But I didn't. My parents wouldn't take me to the movies. It's just like I don't know. It was there's so many there's there's a big gap for me because I was
How many
learning
square footage?
Persian things.
Gap Kids. I'm just being silly. You grew up here in Los Angeles.
I grew up here in Los Angeles
with foreign parents.
With foreign parents. Well, I'm foreign. I was born in Iran.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things culturally that are different for me. Like, just, I mean, God, we talk about stuff, Erin and I, how different we are. Like, how different our upbringing was.
Yeah.
How.
And you're Persian Jewish?
I'm Persian Jewish.
And Erin, you don't have to tell us.
I'm Mexican American.
Oh, you're Mexican?
Yeah.
Can I ask, is it in the name anywhere?
No, because that's my dad's name. So my mom is the one that was born in Mexico, and our family's from Sinaloa. And yeah, so I just look like my dad, I guess, way more than my mom. My brother kind of looks like my mom. He got all the curly hair and the darker features, and I'm just kind of.
You can pass for white.
Yeah, white presenting, I guess.
So how does that? how do you feel about that? People assuming that you're white, and maybe they make an off-color statement about Mexican. Does that happen?
Yeah, that's definitely happened to me before. A little bit less now because people I think are a little more aware of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And but I dated someone this year that called me an illegal. And I had to break up with him because I was like, wait, how do you, as a white dude in 2018, how are you calling anyone, even if it's a joke, an illegal? Like,
was he a Trump
turn
supporter?
on the news, man. Like, do you even see what's happening in this country
He
right
said
now?
illegal, and he was he. I mean, well, are you? No, I'm kidding.
I'm here
Was he
legally.
joking, or was he joking?
He said it was a joke, but it just was so weird and offensive, and also in a text message. And I was kind of like,
really? Okay.
Let's talk about this like tomorrow if you need me to educate you on why you shouldn't be saying that. But
I could see. Okay, I get that. You're saying it was a joke. I could see possibly, but I wouldn't make the joke. I don't think.
Well,
and
it's
then
not
also
funny.
doing it in text message.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of harsh.
Yeah.
it's
It's a dumb, like, trying to be edgy joke.
So you broke up
That's
with
not
him over
funny.
that, or did you discuss it and it led to that?
Yeah, basically, we talked about it, and I thought it was more important to kind of have a conversation about why that's not cool, because some people legitimately don't know. And I could have just broken up with him right then and there and like, never talk to me again. But I was like, okay, calm down. let's actually discuss this. So you now know like why that's not cool. And then yes, we broke up.
But I think that's the way I like how you handled that. You said, let's make teachable moment.
Exactly. And I don't think it does anything positive to just chastise the person or tell them that they're bad or an asshole or they did something wrong. I think it's more important to just open up the dialogue and be like, hey, like that hurt my feelings.
It did hurt? Did it hurt that he said, did the word hurt or the fact that he said it hurt?
Well, I don't know at this point in our like dating relationship how much he knew about my family or, our story or where we came from, but it just seemed like, yeah, it did hurt. It just kind of struck a nerve. And I'm one generation away from the things that we're seeing on the news right now. Like if I was born in a different time, if my mom had married someone else, like it could be me. Like I could be getting deported.
Well, I guess. Yes.
Yeah, you could be getting
I guess yes.
Yeah.
If the situation was just a little bit different, it could affect me a lot differently.
Okay, now I'm gonna throw this at you.
Okay.
What about the Persians? We don't hear that. There could be Persians who aren't legal. Is that common in the Persian community?
Yeah, I mean,
Aha.
It's harder to get into the country if you're Persian and illegal, but it happens here and there.
But you don't. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm a refugee.
I saw.
You are?
I'm a political refugee. Yeah.
What does that mean exactly?
That means that my family was involved in anti-government activities in Iran, and we had to escape. Like we were smuggled out on horses.
What? Ooh.
And
I love a horseback.
And then
ride.
we went to Israel.
Oh, I hear they're good people there.
They're-
Or
I
pretty.
mean-
People say Tel Aviv and Jerusalem is a fun place to
Their
visit.
hummus is great.
Yes.
And we lived on a kibbutz in Israel, and then we came to the U.S.
Because you are Jewish.
I am Jewish, so Israel gives you automatic citizenship when you move there. if
Isn't
you're
there
Jewish.
problems between Israel and Iran?
Yes. Yeah. Well, because Iran is run by the Islamic, it's an Islamic government, so they don't like Jews.
So there's okay. So the players in this, for the sake of this, we have you, we have Ariel, we have Maz Jobrani, who's Persian, and then we have Sarah Silverman, who is Jewish.
So I'm a combination of the two.
So you're on. What about the thought process? I know because Sarah's political. I'm not sure exactly in which, because I get over there, I get confused. I don't know. It's like, are they pro-Israel, pro this? Because you hear about, Israel's shooting bombs and this and that. So I don't know. And I know Maz, he's Iranian. Where do you all stand? Are you guys all together? Are you on the same issues?
You mean,
Are you familiar with them?
Am I pro-Israel? Am I a Zionist? Is that
what it means?
Well, I mean, is Zionist?
Yes. Am I allowed to say that? Are you? Is that wrong to ask?
No, you can ask me anything. I don't get offended.
Eric wants to know: are you pro-Israel?
Yeah, but I mean, with exceptions.
Okay.
Because I think that there can be peace at some point.
Okay. So
it's an education thing. The more you know about the other side, the more you can appreciate them and understand them. I get that.
You know what? I figured that would be your answer. A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Now I'm not speaking for Maz. I'm friends with Maz. I could book him. Could probably text him. Are you familiar with Maz?
Yeah, I know him. I don't know where he stands with this I never asked him if he's pro-Israel.
And then we have Sarah, who is Sarah Silverman.
Yeah,
she's Jewish,
liberal.
but she's down on Israel sometimes.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit much sometimes.
So I don't even know what to think, to be honest. I'm Jewish. I was born Jewish, but I was not bar mitzvahed. I didn't go through the whole. My thing is, I don't know what's going on over there. So for me to have an opinion to say, but I am Jewish. I mean, I feel Jewish, whatever that means, and I know in my heart, whatever that means, I'm a good person. You could Google my crime stats. You can go back and listen to my podcast, and you go, you know what, this is a good guy, and he was born Jewish, so his instincts are in Judaism. I think, and he's from the Valley. You know what? Let's trust Brody. Let's listen to Brody, and take take the high. See, I'm a Gemini. I look at it at both sides. You know, I look at both angles. Are you a Gemini?
No, I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, you'll sting. And I was just in Arizona. I was just in Arizona, and what are they known for? Scorpions. That's a connection.
I should move to Arizona.
Have you been there?
Yeah, of course.
It's good.
Yeah, it's a nice city. So going back to because when you
We're
said
back on Erin.
the illegals thing, because I was at a bar. I don't know if I ever told you this story. I was at a bar with a group of friends, and there's this one very annoying guy who I had wanted nothing to do with, and he kept using the word Jew in a derogatory way.
Like how?
Like he would say, "Well, don't Jew it. I mean, come on, tip them." You know, things like
really?
Yeah.
you know, saying that Jewish people are stingy, and then he starts talking to me. I'm like, I'm uninterested in this conversation. You're anti-Semitic and clearly not intelligent. So, and he was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "What? Are you that stupid that you don't realize that using the word Jew to call someone cheap is not? I mean, it's not smart. It's not." Becoming
it's stereotyping.
It's
So
it's
did you have that talk with him? Like, Erin,
Yes.
did you set him aside?
Well, no, I didn't. Well, that's actually what he. So this is how we're different. So he was kind of, he didn't understand, and I'm like, well, you moron.
Name calling.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Get right
because
back.
he was already annoying me because he kept talking, and he was he was drunk and like touching. I don't like strangers touching.
Of course
me,
not.
You know, and it's like, how much do I have to push you away? And so, because this was kind of like my out, I'm like, oh, thank God, I don't have to be nice to him anymore. Not that I really was, but, you know, less so. And so I'm like, well, you know, when you use a culture as an example of something bad, it's considered anti-Semitic or, you know, racist or whatever it is. And he was like, oh, I didn't realize that. I'm like, well, now you know. And then he's like, well, teach me, fix me. I'm like, no, it's not my responsibility. You're a grown-ass man. Go educate yourself.
It's
Check
not yourself before you wreck yourself, you know?
I mean, yeah.
I'm Jewish. Again, born Jewish, raised Gemini. Not bar mitzvahed. I feel Jewish. Whatever that means.
I didn't have like an official bat mitzvah.
Oh, you didn't?
I had a party, and that was it.
You didn't get like a $50 bail bonds, or I got.
Oh yeah, I got gold bars.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I got a bunch of gold bars, but I didn't go to synagogue and read, and I didn't take bat mitzvah classes.
Do you feel Jewish?
Yeah, just not like properly bat mitzvah.
Yeah, I personally, I don't use the Jew. I'm Jewish. I don't go, we Jews, and I don't go, welcome to the tribe. Because Jews will say that, you're in the tribe, or welcome.
Yeah, I said it earlier.
But I mean, look, I am Jewish, and I know I do have Jewish instincts, but I don't feel like I need to not include others and feel like I'm better than you. I do feel like, I mean, I played baseball at Arizona State University. I mean, that's the Aryan breadbasket. And I was like probably the only Jewish guy on the team. I had a couple half Jewish teammates. So I know what people would think of Jewish people. And I would always like, Jesus was Jewish. I would always say that. Then I was big. Here's the thing. The reason why I don't really speak of it too much anymore, because, you know, politics recently, you know, with Jews running Hollywood or Jews running the media. Okay, you know what? Jews being I look at it this way. Jews being an agent or Jews being a manager, I look at it like Jews, we lift people up. We're like, picking up. I bring good spirits. That's how I feel. I try to I have some bedside manner. I'm bringing energy up. I'm a good cheerleader. Done audience warm up. People like having me around. That's what I feel like. So I look at it. That's a positive. And if that makes you a better manager or agent, okay. And a lot of Jews are managers or agents. Now, if you want to get into guys making decisions on what TV shows make it to the air and who gets this and what movies get made, that's a whole nother level of Judaism that I don't necessarily these days want to get into. I don't know. I feel like, because with the politics, but I think I look at the positives. I'm Jewish. I bring energy. I care. And then you could also look at the Jewish coaches. There's a lot of coaches in baseball. You know, I kind of focus on the Jewish guy in baseball, the Jewish agent or manager, not necessarily the Jewish comedian, but I'll battle that. I'll go, we bring good energy and some warmth. But other than that, I'm not going to like fight. As a Jewish guy, I'm not going to like, I'm not saying I don't stand up for it, but I can sometimes understand, see where people are coming from on that. They feel like Jews, you see those graphs people send out. The Jew guy run this, Jew, and I go, well, I mean, they are. And I mean,
well, you can't resent an entire community, but people help each other within their communities.
Right.
So, a Jewish person will help another Jewish person. A Persian person will help out another Persian person.
But why doesn't the help out the person they should help out, whether he's Jewish or not? Like the Jewish guy, maybe he's like using drugs. Maybe he's annoying. Maybe he's not good enough.
Maybe it's because they have a shared sense of having to deal with anti-Semitism, or
there are anti-Semites.
So, I've seen a lot, because I'm from a Muslim country. I've seen a lot of anti-Semitism.
But I talk about this. And, well, that was Brendan here. I talk about this being playing baseball, or not baseball, I'll say doing the stand-up in, like, Arizona, how you could, like, a conservative. I'm saying, like, people aren't used to Jewish people sometimes.
Sure.
So instead of me getting angry, I would just kill him with kindness, kill him with positivity, laughing. And then some of my friends now that aren't Jewish, that I grew up with, who initially might have been tough on me because they just weren't comfortable. They weren't used to seeing somebody that was Jewish. And now they're like some of my best friends. So I feel like instead of like, yeah, sometimes people, I'm not saying they're anti-Semitic. I'm saying sometimes people aren't used to being around Jewish people. That's why a lot of them stay in New York. They stay in L.A. So you go out, and I try to say, like, it's out there, and it is, and here's the thing. I don't have an answer because I feel it is a crazy world. So I feel like, it's like I do see both sides, and I want us to somehow, I'm not saying you can work with somebody who's anti-Semitic. I'm not saying you can work with that person, but there's got to be ways to somehow
to educate.
Go ahead, Erin.
Well, I think that's what's good about what's happening in the media right now, and these conversations are kind of coming forward, and there's more opportunities to talk about stuff, and people, I think, are getting to a place where they're more comfortable asking, hey, like, is this okay? Is this offensive? How should I be seeing this situation outside of myself? Like, the whole conversation about white privilege is really interesting, because now people are starting to realize, oh, wait, of course I don't think white privilege exists because I've benefited from a system that keeps other people down, So it's like people don't even really, they can't wrap their heads around it because they've been on the benefiting end of it. But now the more aware we are of it, it's something that's kind of more, I think, more in the forefront of what we're able to recognize and feel comfortable talking about now, which is beneficial for everyone, I think.
Yeah, intersectionality.
Mm-hmm.
So the white privilege, I guess that's out there, right?
Something that, in terms of the dialogue in media and pop culture right now?
But I just don't know
what
I don't know what privileges I got for being white. I don't know if I had privilege. I mean, I drove a Pinto. My parents were divorced. I went to Reseda. I guess, yes, if you are black, people do notice, and there are racists out there who go, I don't want anything to deal with that. I get that. I think that there is anti-Semitism that's on a different level, not a different level.
Or even what you get paid, Like, minorities typically get paid less. Women get paid less.
Why is that?
I don't know.
I think it's because I don't know. Actually,
I mean,
I don't know.
I think that there is a. Again, I don't want to like. Again, I'm not holding. I don't. Again, I'm not holding back. If you're listening to a very, very serious podcast right now, the Stephen Brody Stevens Festival of Friendship, because I don't know. I say about the white privilege. I don't feel I had it necessarily. I mean, I went to public. Like I said, I went to public school. I got bused into the Crenshaw district. I get it. Multiculturalism, I understand. I just think sometimes when it's forced on you, there could be some rebellion to it. I think that I mean, I didn't love it. I dealt with it. We had multicultural. I grew up here in California. You know, we went to Olvera Street on field trips. I didn't not like it. I just was okay with it. And then I remember when busing ended and I stayed at part of busing is like you just don't want to get on a bus. You'd rather go to school right in your neighborhood. So part of that was like being at home in the Valley. I don't know. It's out in the open now, but look what it's doing to me. It's I mean, I'm a little confused by it, but also not confused. And I feel that I don't want to tell people because I think it is a real thing, and I think people are. But what's the solution? Is yes, there is anti-Semitism. There is, my white privilege, I guess. What is the solution? Do we ignore it? Do we say that's the way it is? Do we say get tough? Do we say take a little bit of this, work together? I like the work together.
I like the work together too, and I think it's really important to have allies. I think that people that have benefited from white privilege need to look for ways that they can help elevate minorities and women and include them, because I think that's the problem with society is we see this problem, we don't know how to fix it. And I think it's just as simple as inclusion, making sure that we have each other's backs and making sure, oh yeah, this person is talented and great and they have an amazing voice and something to say. How can we work together on something?
But how about, okay, if you're a kid, instead of let's say affirmative action, for example, I'll just throw that out there and that be something else. I feel that when you're saying affirmative action, it's almost as though you're not feeling sorry, you feel sorry for me. You got to give me a free school. You got to go out of the way. That's why do you feel that way? I'll earn it on my own. There's some people who may not, some people who may not want that. I'm saying if somebody's bending, why are you helping? Why do I need help? You think I can do this on my own? There's some of that too. Not saying that affirmative action's a handout, but when you feel oh, I get a discount because I'm a minority, that just kind of it keeps it going. That's what I think a little bit. I feel like everyone says best person for the job, but I do you could look at, for example, Major League Baseball teams, and they don't even talk about it, but you look at the coaching staffs. I think within baseball, you have to have a Dominican coach, you have to have an African-American coach, and I think that's good. I think it's good to mix it up, but and it is it's mandated, but
I think that it comes down to intentional inclusion. I think that's part of accountability. So having more women in the room, having minorities in the room, having different religions and viewpoints in the room helps keep everyone more accountable.
But why do you want to be? I'm just throwing this out there. Why would you want to be in a room that somebody doesn't? We don't want you here. Why do you want to be? We don't. And now you can go. I'll start my own thing. I'll start my own podcast.
Yeah, and I think that's the person's choice, of course. But it's always nice to know that you have that option to go rogue and do your own thing if you want to be completely independent, or to be part of a community where you think you could have the potential to improve it.
I think that these things are true. You say there are people who are anti-minority, anti-women, or even subtly or token racism.
Right,
that's
whether
out
they
there.
know it or not. Sometimes people they're not even aware of the fact that that's how they think.
Right. But
it's you're one of the good ones racism.
Yeah.
You're one of the good ones.
That's. Wait, Eric has Eric, you know what, Eric? And I will let you. I think it's appropriate. Whatever you're going to say, I am willing to listen. Go ahead, Eric Aligney.
Just going to use my privilege real quick.
Now remember, you're not on the mic, so I'm relaying. Tell me.
We have if they still need to leave at 3:30, we have about 15 minutes left. I was wondering maybe we could lighten it up and play a little game with them, have a little fun with them.
Okay. All right. So what are they saying I'll tell you what, Eric. Good shift of gear. This was going, and I'm not saying it was interesting. And what were they saying in Periscope? Now I'm going to ask you, what were they saying in Periscope?
Can I get on the mic?
Sure. Here he is, Eric Aligney, who booked Erin and Ariel.
He did.
Ariel.
Yeah, very
Ariel.
funny, very funny
Ariel.
comedians. Well, when you guys started getting into it very politically, it starts heating up everyone in the Periscope to where you start having people just fighting over nothing.
They're fighting in there?
Man,
And it's
okay.
like,
Don't fight, you
but the thing is
guys.
I liked it because it's here's the thing. You're talking about something important. people need to hear things like that. Some people are very stupid in this country that they don't get to hear things like that.
We
So
have people in Canada also. So
well,
let's not.
well, I'm just saying
from
in
all
the
over.
United States. I'm not talking about every
Probably
other country.
from Iran too.
There you go. See, you secluded Iran.
Well,
Is that the word?
I'm just
Excluded.
Excluded.
I'm being an American and only worrying about ourselves. So, but I'm saying it's important for people to hear it, but it also gets people very heated in arguments. And why I say most comedians should avoid talking very political stuff is because that's where you lose people. Is you go, half the people are going to agree with you, and half the people aren't. So, or you in the same sense. So that's why.
What did I say wrong in there?
I don't know.
Was I being the token racist?
No, I didn't think you guys were saying anything wrong. But you're stepping on broken glass. You're really you're making noise while you're doing it. You know what I mean? Like you're not walking on a smooth platform to where you can just walk through.
We're going edgy.
So that's what life is, kind of.
I get that.
All right,
yeah,
let's lighten it up.
No, wait, no.
But that's why I know I let the conversation go. But I said,
look at this guy directing. He's producing. He's booking. He's doing it all, and he's telling us what to say.
I'm only trying to help, but I feel like the lighting the mood with the last 15 minutes, 10 minutes of the show, I think that'd be good.
I don't disagree with you.
And I think but everything was great. I really liked you guys as guests, and Brody, you did a great job today.
Well, all I know is Erin is from San Jose. I know that Ariel is from the San Fernando Valley, and right, you go to high school out here.
Yeah, I went to Taft.
You went to Taft, the Toradors on Winnetka.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that. I know that they have a podcast called Ghosted
Hunters.
Ghosted Hunters.
Yeah.
Which is very funny, and people should listen.
How long has the podcast been on for?
We launched in June.
And what? So it's been on for several months.
Yes.
Yeah.
And ghosting. Let's talk back about affirmative action. No, I'm kidding. So dating.
Have you ever been ghosted?
Not recently.
Good question.
I mean, I'll tell you what. I'm going to be honest with you. I would say since this, I've been a little. No, I haven't. But I don't really go out in the dating world all that much. I just haven't really dipped in for some reason. Maybe it's my own thing. Maybe it's L.A. Maybe it's doing stand up. Maybe it's.
Have you ever had your heart broken?
Yeah, when the Dodgers lost. No, I'll tell you what. That's on a whole. See, that's another thing. I don't go into it. When I talk about how I grew up in the Valley, my parents are divorced. I went to public school. I know kind of what it was. That's why I push back on some of these things, because I feel like some of this stuff that's forced on, it's not because I feel like I'm a good person, and I feel like some of these things are it doesn't seem right.
You're being pressured into going and dating somebody when you don't want to be.
I'm not talking about dating necessarily. I'm talking about my life, the way I grew up, and this is not like this is not. I'm not telling secrets or anything like that. I just try to a lot of that, like how I grew up. I don't think it helped. It made me vulnerable. It made me stronger in a sense that I had to fend for myself. I could see somebody like a rich kid or a Jewish kid goes to private school, to Hebrew school. There's something about going to public school. There's something about not being protected, like Jews taking. I didn't have that protection. So I was able to see, I feel, the real deal. Even though it was back in the 80s, that's what I saw. So I saw the real deal, and all I'm looking for is honesty. Yes, there's good people and bad people all across the board. I feel like every culture, I don't want to go back into it, but everyone has their flaws. It's a lot of anti-white guy stuff, and I go, that's what I'm saying. It was anti the Valley. I go, I'm from the Valley. I'm a good guy. It's anti. Then they go, it's anti-white guy. I go, I guess I'm white. I think I'm okay. Then you go, and I talk about this. I go to Urban Outfitters. There's no men's clothes there anymore. So you got a little table of shirts. It used to be
Which one are you going to?
The outlet ones.
You got to go to the Hollywood one.
Garanimals.
Half the stores dude stuff.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, if I just throw it out there with no influence on me, I feel like I'm a barometer for some things. That's all I'm saying. And I feel like, I just think more voices need to be heard. It's all good if more voices are heard and we work together. Everyone gets a seat at the table. We all get a voice. But we got to have some balance, and I feel like some things are like unbalanced for the wrong reasons.
You were like a baseball coach at the end of a game that just lost, and you were like didn't really answer the question. You just kind of like you just
wait. What do you mean? Tell me what. Go ahead.
We asked you about your dating life, and you went into some.
Yeah.
You really just sidelined.
So you don't want to talk about your dating life? Is that what you're saying?
No, I've dated. I didn't really date much in high school.
Okay.
I was into baseball. I was awkward.
Uh-huh.
College, I had experiences with girls. Yes, I didn't have like a serious girlfriend, but I played baseball, so we had fun.
Okay.
But nothing crazy. Then when I started doing comedy, I've had some fun times. I had a girl that I actually did spend time with in Seattle.
Uh-huh.
And then when I moved to New York, not so much. Because here's the deal. I was focusing just on, it's like almost too into my career, almost too much into being that stand-up. So we could talk about that on another thing.
You wanna lighten the podcast up and play?
Well, you keep talking about lightening the podcast
What
up.
is that card in your hand?
Just relax, Eric.
What? Why do you have a card?
Okay, I'll
about
tell
the
you
Chinese?
why. First of all, it's Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
Year of the dog. I'm a year of the dog. People don't.
What's dog spelled backwards?
God. God is love. That's what they say. And it is. People don't talk about zodiac signs and astrology because I feel that some of that is right on. What's your take on astrology, Ariel?
Well, so I am clairvoyant.
You are?
Yeah.
There you go.
And so, I'm into that world. I don't know. Astrology to me, it's just, some of it is so general. It applies to everyone.
Is it really? Have you looked at other signs and said, I don't connect with that. I'm not like that. I'm not like that.
Well, I mean, I could be a Gemini. I have different moods. Or I can be I don't really know.
You're a Scorpio.
I'm a Scorpio. I guess I do have all the qualities of a Scorpio, like the intensity and the I
feel like you have the qualities of an Aries.
Of an Aries?
Yeah.
What are
Ariel?
Yeah, like outspoken. You're seen in a room.
Fire sign.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know exactly when I was born. This is an estimate.
But why are you
really?
You don't know?
I don't really know. I don't know
that's
the exact
crazy.
date. I have 3 birthdays.
So you're like Jesus.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, nobody really knows.
My birthday legally is 2 months before what I've been told is my birthday.
How are you going to fill out the W-9 after the show? We'll send you the PDF file.
So you really do get to have like months of birthdays for yourself.
No, because I would only celebrate one.
Oh, okay.
So this has turned into the Erica Ligney Let's Talk About Birthdays podcast.
I know how big into birthdays you are.
I'm not big into birthdays, but I'm saying if people focused more on astrology as opposed to like what color you are, what religion you are, what sign are you, when were you born?
Wait, do you think you're a Gemini?
I am. I know when I was born.
No.
I was
But
born
do you have
May
a Gemini
20
personality? Are you like
Yes.
Gemini?
Yes, I've read it all.
Okay, so you're an air sign. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm a fire sign. What are you, Eric?
Aries.
Okay, nice.
Well, then why were you saying she okay? First of all, I know I'm a Gemini, and strengths: Gentile, affectionate, curious, adaptable. Look at the jacket I'm wearing. It may rain, so I'm ready
That
for it.
sounds
It
like
got the
you.
Gentile
Sounds
right.
like you.
What's that?
I got the Gentile right.
No, gentle.
Oh.
Gentile is a different thing.
Jeez, Eric. Affectionate. Okay, I'm good with dogs. Curious. I know that you have Latina energies. You have white energies. And I know Ariel is the Iranian mermaid. I know that because I was curious to find out about you. Adaptable. Boom. We talked about the jacket. Ability to learn quickly and exchange ideas. I think we exchanged ideas.
did. Yeah.
Definitely. My weaknesses, I'm nervous. So you could say I'm moving around a lot. I am. I do get nervous. I have sweat on my lip. Inconsistent. Says it. I'm inconsistent. Am I doing the baseball card game? Am I doing sound effects? Am I changing topics? Indecisive. Maybe, maybe not today. I don't know. Gemini likes, and then we're going to ask you real quick. Music. I love music. Books. What do I have right here? A book.
It's a book.
Magazines. I was just at Barnes & Noble over the weekend. Chats with nearly anyone. I could do that if I wanted to. I don't. I'm not the kind of guy that walks in a place, starts talking, but I could. I've done audience warm-up. Short trips around the town. I drive all over. Yeah. So anyway, I'm saying that.
It goes all the way to short trips around
I mean,
town.
that's pretty specific.
Yeah, they're
Well,
really,
This is-
they're
I
really
need to
just
go on that
zeroing
site.
in on that one.
Well, this was done through Waze. Waze. I'm a Gemini
Sponsored
on
by
Waze.
Waze. That's hilarious.
Eric.
yeah.
We'll wrap it up with our two guests. Let me ask you a question. You've seen several of these podcasts.
Yeah.
Variations. You've been at home. You've been on the phone. You're in the room. What do you think of what's your take on this podcast today?
I like this podcast. You got to know two new people that you can be on the Festival of Friendship in the future. They're good guests, and then that add to your friendship. I enjoyed it.
That's all.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
It was festive.
What about what about the fans? What was there? Let's go in there right now. What were they saying? You think they would like it?
Yeah, I think they liked it. Valley vibes. Everyone's just, I saw a lot of good comments. Whenever we got you guys got into the conversation with about.
We didn't really talk that much politics.
Right, but at the end there, you got into it. That's the only time that there was like a bunch of back and forth on here. But just so Liberty knows, it wasn't you, Liberty. I wasn't calling out just some people on there were getting a little heated. Liberty got a little upset and said, don't call us all out. So it's not all of you on Periscope.
Liberty's a great name. That's my first name.
It is?
Yeah, not in English.
Liberty, Liberty, Liberty.
But it's Azadeh.
Azadeh.
That's why I'm
That's
here.
easier
Oh, he's
than
in.
Kashanchi.
I saw him in concert.
How's the day?
He was in Black Sabbath. Let me see the comments, right? Because I don't have the comments. Let me see what they're saying right there. Are the comments open?
Yeah, the comments are open.
Let me see. Unique podcast thrown under the bus by Aligny. Hashtag success. I mean, Eric, a little bit. Let's be honest. Did you kind of maybe, I don't know.
Sabotage?
I'm not saying you sabotaged it, but out of the gate, when you said, let's stop talking, I want to hear more from the girls. You don't think I knew that?
It was funny.
All right. I'm not saying it isn't funny. Great pod. In this scope, we embrace intersexuality.
Nice.
Is Eric sick? His voice is deeper.
I'm just a little congested.
From what? Smoking cigarettes?
No, I was sick like 2 weeks ago, and congestion will go away.
It's a lingering
Yeah.
congestion.
Yikes.
We have 41 people watching live.
Hey, that's awesome.
No, this was. I think we all had pretty good energy. I think we worked together well. To be honest, when talking about a serious topic, you can have a serious topic, and think it to yourself or say it to your friend. When you get on a podcast and you talk about it, it is like, yes, you're walking. I don't know, you're walking on glass, but you have to you're thinking about it. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I guess it's good, but it does make things interesting.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, you just don't want to do it too long. You don't want to
Look at this guy, Mr. Podcast.
With that said,
Erin, you've done a lot of podcasts. How was your experience here?
It was good. I'm really glad we got the chance to do this and to get to know you better and come out here to All Things Comedy. It's always exciting. Thank you so
he's from
much
the
for
Valley,
thinking of
right?
us. Yes.
have you ever played baseball?
Did you know that? Yeah, I'm into repetition. I'm into repetition. You keep saying, you put it out there. It's like, yes, baseball, Valley,
Like
push.
stand up.
Ghosted hunters.
And I'll tell you something else. I know you guys got to wrap. I've had good opportunities come out of this. Meaning, people ask, oh, how'd you get the hangover? By doing this. How'd you get the audience warm up? By doing this. How'd you get that? By doing that. And a lot of it's just energy based, pushing, believing, taking the high road. And I think we all have it in us. And I don't tell people how to act. I only tell them what I do. I do apple cider vinegar. I get my steps in. I appreciate baseball. Okay, we're rambling. Eric, you shifted the energy. let me have a moment with Erin, and if you can go ahead, take a seat real quick. I'm going to have a moment. We'll have a wrap-up moment here with the our two guests. Thank you, Eric.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been a lot of fun.
Ariel Kushanji
Kashanchi.
and Erin Darling. I'll tell you what, it was a fun podcast. I think you guys got the comedy. If there was comedy, I knew it was funny, like when I asked you.
There were levels, yeah.
But exactly.
Yeah.
When I said, where'd you go to college? That was kind of funny. Like just little things out of the blue. So I'm happy with it. I think Eric did a great job. I think you guys did a good job. You did a good, not I think, you did. And check out their podcast, Ghosted.
Ghosted Hunters.
And where can they find it?
iTunes, Spotify, Google Play.
And it's on, you do it. It's
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. They have all the podcasts. And you guys have shows coming up. Where can we see you guys perform? Is there a website, or is that something they'll find out?
ErinDarling.com, or on Instagram, Darling with 4 H's.
Mine is all on my Instagram. Ariel's Not a Mermaid.
Okay. You play off that. Okay. So we have Instagrams. We have all that stuff. They like it. Brody bringing the heat today. How will they do at the baseball card game? They're Where's Pepitone episode? Where'd you go to high school? All right, guys. Thank you very much. There they go. Give them a nice hand. Erin and Ariel. Yes.
Awesome.
I'm going to do a little 5-minute post pod. We did the photo before, so that's good. That was great. Eric's going to walk you out. There they go. Erin Darling. Thank you. Here, girls.
Bye.
I'll give you a... Good job. Thank you. There was so much to talk about on this today. There was so much on this podcast that we talked about today. Thank you very much, everybody. And I think it was a good podcast. It was a good podcast. We interviewed. Didn't do the baseball card game, but that's okay. We had Eric stepping up into a producing role. I don't know what to think about that. Good job in the Twitter. Good job, Erin, in the booth. And we'll see you next week. This is Stephen Brody Stevens. And I'll tell you what, it was good having the guests. It was good having the guests. And I'm learning how to have... That's a lot, having 2 guests. There was a lot going on here. I had 2 guests, and I also had a lot of things. So I'm going to say this was a successful podcast, and have a great... How long have we gone for, Erin? 110. 110. We went for 110. Could I keep going? Possibly, yes. But I need to give her cord, actually. Darn it. I have her cord here. All right, I'm going to wrap this thing up. Thank you very much, everybody. Stephen Brody Stevens, feeling great. Check back. Listen all the time on the podcast. We're getting more guests. We're getting more things happening. You can see me on the road in Seattle and in Arizona coming up in 2019. Also have some gigs this weekend if you're around with David Spade in West Palm Beach, Florida. So check that out. Stay in a good mood. Get your steps in. Drink your apple cider vinegar. I've got shows at the Comedy Store. You can check out my special, which is available on Amazon and iTunes. Check out the podcast, Festival of Friendship on all things comedy, Valley Vibes on all things comedy. We have a lot of positive developments taking place in the year 2019. I want to say thank you very much. Keep supporting live entertainment and podcasting. My name is Stephen Brody Stevens, all around good guy, Arizona State University, 2.52 GPA. I'm letting Eric book guests, and that happened today. We're going to have to figure out how to work in the baseball card game because it might not be conducive with the guests. That's what we're figuring out here. So that's good. I'm happy. I could say that maybe this podcast was all over the place today. It's possible. But you know what? You just got to keep doing them. That's how you do it. And it was a successful podcast. So I want to say thank you very much. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Enjoy it. Yes!